has really convicted me lately that I need to be sharing some of the things he's doing in my life. So I'm at a bus stop waiting to go home at night. It's about 9:30. I hope the audio's okay. So I live in Harris County and I owe property taxes every year. While I'm a widow, Ron was not a service member or a veteran. And I am too young to get the widow exemption. And it can add up. The value goes up almost every year, and it's a pretty good tax bill. I had got 2 of the 4 things already. The large Harris County bill and the Homeowners Association, which was about $400. Harris County was about $1,200. And I had 2 more bills. I had the school district, which was only about $100, and the utility district, which was about $700. And I had some of it saved, but it was going to be a very, very large bite out of my last paycheck to get it paid, my next paycheck, to get it paid on time. And I didn't say anything online at all, not on message boards, not on Facebook, nothing, I just figured this is me, this is my problem, I handle my own problems. But I did take it to God. I said, God, it just, it seems like everything's breaking in my house. Can you just help? Just help. So the next thing I know, one of my friends sent me a message and he said, I'm sending you something, be on the lookout. Now, he is a sponsor. He sends, now and then I get Bibles. And so I thought it'd be, a couple hours of my pay. And last night I went to check the mail, and I have 10 days to pay the property tax. And there was a card, and I opened up the card, and I almost had a heart attack because it was a check for exactly the amount I needed to finish off the property tax. And the note in the card said, we know your taxes are due. This gentleman and his wife. And I'm like, I didn't say anything. I just, thank you. And I'm just praising God over that. And he was very modest about it when I sent him a thank you note. And that's a huge, huge blessing just to have that off my back. And so I got that all paid off today. I brought the check into work and went to the bank and, dealt with all that. And so while I was working today, there was a lady came up to me and she asked me a question and I answered it. And she said something about working at Metro. And I said, oh, are you with Metro Bus or Metro Lift? And she looked at me because a lot of, civilians don't know the difference. And I said, I ride, and she said, oh, okay. She said, I'm on the bus. And I said, oh, that's great. Which yard are you out of? I see a lot of drivers out of the such and such yard. And she just kind of looked at me like, how do you know this? And I said, well, I ride a lot. She just kept looking at me. And I said, they call me the candy lady. And she goes, oh. And she gets all choked up. And she just leans in and tackles me and pulls me into this huge hug and patted me on the back. I said, it's you. It's really you. I don't think I've ever met this lady in my life. And she said, what you do is so important. Keep it up. And she gave me another hug and she left. Wow. So that's been just a small part of my day today.